Welcome to Gentex Multimedia live stream for Friday, November the 6th, streaming directly to your device from beautiful city of Brisbane in Australia. Hi, it's Friday and yes, what a big weekend it will be. So much happening in Brisbane. Looking forward to catching up with many of you over the weekend. Well, so much happening, so let's see what the Queensland weather has for us in this weekend. So with the weekend weather update, let's welcome Dilraj.
Good morning everyone. Weather forecast for the rest of today is maximum 29 degree. Brisbane area is mostly sunny with no chances of rain. Light winds becoming southeast to southwesterly 15 to 20 km per hour in the middle of the day, then tending northeast to southeasterly 15 to 25 km in the early afternoon. Fire danger is high, sun protection is recommended till 20 past 3 and UV index is predicted to reach 10, that is very high. And tomorrow minimum will be 16 and maximum will be 27. Brisbane area will be partly cloudy with 5% chances of rain. Light winds becoming easterly 20 to 30 km in the middle of the day, then tending southeasterly 15 to 20 km per hour in the late afternoon. And on Sunday, minimum will be 17 and maximum will be 25. Brisbane area will be partly cloudy with 30% chances of rain. Winds southeasterly 15 to 25 km increasing to 25 to 35 km per hour during the morning, then becoming south to southeasterly and light during the evening. Over the weekend, sun protection is recommended from 7:30 to 20 past 3 and UV index is predicted to reach 11, that is extreme. So till tomorrow, enjoy your day and stay safe.
And thank you very much for that live update there, Dilraj. It's wonderful to see a wonderful weekend coming up. Well, as we know, today is a very historic day. Today we have the Lord Mayor's Multicultural Business Awards at City Hall, one of the first big functions to take place at City Hall. As we know, Brisbane City Council has been holding few functions, even in King George's Square. Well, of course, all under the COVID-19 tough restrictions. So follow us throughout the day for interactive results as they come in. And as we know that President Trump is speaking at the White House at the moment, and we'll bring to you that video if it becomes available. And of course, our Premier is making some announcements. We'll try and see if we can bring that to you as well. But first of all, let's take a very quick look at the headlines and top stories for this morning.
Continuing to inch to victory in the US election, while the president is demanding election workers stop the count. The Trump campaign has sought to halt vote counting in Pennsylvania, challenging the handling of ballots in Georgia and Nevada, and sought a recount in Wisconsin. It's lost a lawsuit in Michigan to stop ballot counting. Joe Biden's campaign continues to express confidence he will achieve the electoral votes needed to win. Has asked supporters to be patient. Australia's Agriculture Minister insists China is a valuable trading partner, despite confirmation that key Australian commodities won't clear China's customs. Officials from the Chinese Commerce Ministry have told importers that coal, copper, barley, sugar, wine, lobsters and timber will all be banned from today. The suspensions could cost exporters $6 billion annually if they're prolonged. The Victorian Hotel Quarantine Inquiry will hand down its interim report today, which will set out a roadmap for a safer quarantine program. It's expected the recommendations will draw on evidence to the inquiry from infectious disease experts. The Premier has indicated he would like to reopen the state's borders to overseas arrivals within weeks. And Tasmania is opening its border to New South Wales residents today, allowing travellers to enter without quarantining. Tasmania's border remains closed to Victoria only, but is on track to open on December 1st.
That's the news update there, courtesy of ABC. So you are now up to date on the Gentex Multimedia live stream, as I said before, coming right to you here from the beautiful city of Brisbane, and looking out the window, it is just wonderful. And you can't see on the window on my right, as I look down Howard Street Wharf, there's lots of activities already happening there. So it is wonderful to see all the vibe that's happening. Well, right now, US elections where everyone's talking about, and of course we know that Joe Biden is on track to victory. But there are challenges, and Donald Trump is saying that stop the counting. What would that do? How can he do that? But anyway, that is America right now. Let's hear from Joe Biden as he asks everyone to remain calm and have the patience.
Senator Harris and I just completed briefings on both COVID and the economic crisis facing this nation. And we're reminded again of the severity of this pandemic. Cases are on the rise nationwide, and we're nearing 240,000 deaths due to COVID. And our hearts go out to each and every family that has lost a loved one to this terrible disease. In America, the vote is sacred. It's how people of this nation express their will. And it is the will of the voters, no one, not anything else, that chooses the President of the United States of America. So, each ballot must be counted. And that's what we're going to see going through now. And that's how it should be. Democracy is sometimes messy. It sometimes requires a little patience as well. But that patience has been rewarded now for more than 240 years with a system of governance that's been the envy of the world. And we continue to feel, Senator and I, we continue to feel very good about where things stand. We have no doubt that when the count is finished, Senator Harris and I will be declared the winners. So I ask everyone to stay calm, all the people to stay calm. The process is working. The count is being completed, and we'll know very soon. So thank you all for your patience, but we have to count the votes. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you so much.
And as he mentioned, what is our President Trump saying? Let's have a very quick look at that now. This news has just come in hot off the press, as they reckon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to provide the American people with an update on our efforts to protect the integrity of our very important 2020 election. If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes that came in late, we're looking at them very strongly, but a lot of votes came in late. I've already decisively won many critical states, including massive victories in Florida, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio. To name just a few, we won these and many other victories despite historic election interference from big media, big money, and big tech. As everybody saw, we won by historic numbers. And the pollsters got it knowingly wrong. They got it knowingly wrong. We had polls that were so ridiculous, and everybody knew it at the time. There was no blue wave that they predicted. They thought there was going to be a big blue wave. That was false. It was done for suppression reasons. But instead, there was a big red wave. And it's been properly acknowledged, actually, by the media. They were, I think, very impressed. But that was after the fact. That doesn't do us any good. We kept the Senate despite having twice as many seats to defend as Democrats, and in a really much more competitive states. We did a fantastic job with the Senate. I think we're very proud of what's happened there. We had many more seats to defend. They spent almost $200 million on Senate races in South Carolina and Kentucky alone, 2 races, and hundreds of millions of dollars overall against us. At the national level, our opponents' major donors were Wall Street bankers and special interests. Our major donors were police officers, farmers, everyday citizens. Yet for the first time ever, we lost 0 races in the House. I was talking to Kevin McCarthy today. He said he couldn't believe it. 0 races. Very unusual thing, 0. And actually won many new seats with, I think, many more on the way. This was also the year of the Republican woman. More Republican women were elected to Congress than ever before. That's a great achievement. I won the largest share of non-white voters of any Republican in 60 years, including historic numbers of Latino, African American, Asian American, and Native American voters, the largest ever in our history. We grew our party by 4 million voters, the greatest turnout in Republican Party history. Democrats are the party of the big donors, the big media, the big tech, it seems, and Republicans have become the party of the American worker, and that's what's happened. And we're also, I believe, the party of inclusion. As everyone now recognizes, media polling was election interference in the truest sense of that word by powerful special interests. These really phony polls, I have to call them phony polls, fake polls, were designed to keep our voters at home, create the illusion of momentum for Mr. Biden, and diminish Republicans' ability to raise funds. They were what's called suppression polls. Everyone knows that now. And it's never been used to the extent that it's been used on this last election. To highlight just a few examples, the day before election, Quinnipiac, which was wrong on every occasion that I know of, had Joe Biden up by 5 points in Florida, and they were off by 8.4 points, and I won Florida easily. So they had me losing Florida by a lot, and I ended up winning Florida by a lot. Other than that, they were very accurate. They had him up 4 points in Ohio, and they were up by 12.2 points. And they also won Ohio, great state of Ohio, very easily. The Washington Post said Biden up 17 points in Wisconsin, and it was basically even. They were off by about 17 points. And they knew that. They're not stupid people. They knew that. Suppression. There are now only a few states yet to be decided in the presidential race. The voting apparatus of those states are run in all cases by Democrats. We were winning in all the key locations by a lot, actually. And then our numbers started miraculously getting whittled away in secret. And they wouldn't allow legally permissible observers. We went to court in a couple of instances, and we were able to get the observers put in. And when the observers got there, they wanted them 60, 70 feet away, 80 feet, 100 feet away, or outside the building to observe people inside the building. And we won a case, a big case, and we have others happening. There are lots of litigation, even beyond our litigation. There's tremendous amount of litigation generally because of how unfair this process was. And I predicted that. I've been talking about mail-in voting for a long time. It's really destroyed our system. It's a corrupt system.
So that would be very, very interesting to see the outcome and to see what happens. It is quite clear from that message that he would probably not accept defeat, and he said he was winning and they're stealing the election away from him, and that they would not allow the observers or the scrutinists to be there. And his claim is that some of the votes which have come in late should not have been counted. That's why he's calling for stop the counting, as he says. But anyway, it's nail-biting situation, and it's anyone's guess what would transpire in the next few days. But anyway, it's a watch and see situation, and we'll keep an eye on the situation and see how it goes. But right now, let's go to our premier making the announcements here for today.
Hopefully it's a bit more friendlier now.
We're always friendly.
Yeah, you are. You are. Okay, let me know when everyone's ready. Let's wait for Eddie.
Ready to go.
You good? Yep. Okay, well, good morning, Queensland, and good morning, Ipswich. Well, in good news overnight, I can report that we've had 0 new cases. Well done, Queensland. That is absolutely fantastic news. We only have 8 active cases, and our total tests is 4,340. And that's, again, good news because it means that people are still getting that testing done. And that's exactly what we need to do. Remember, Dr. Young always says we need to find that first case if ever it is detected in Queensland. It's also 52 days since our last case of community transfer, which is, again, tremendous news. And I was also pleased to hear this morning that the Western Australians were successful and Queensland was party to that Western Australia court case against Clive Palmer, and of course the federal government was party to that at one stage as well. And that High Court case has clearly showed that the declarations that were made around the border were valid, they were constitutional. So that's another great indictment of the fact that Queensland did exactly the right thing when we put in place our border measures to protect Queenslanders' health, and it has stood us very well. So I'm very pleased to hear the results of that court case today. Now, we're out in Ipswich today at Springfield Lakes. I'm joined by the Mayor, Teresa Harding, the federal member, Milton Dick, and of course, my hard-working local member for Jordan, Cherise Mullen. And of course, everybody knows that a lot of communities were impacted with those large hailstones that swept through these areas on Saturday. I've had the opportunity this morning to speak to some of the residents that were impacted. Some of their homes have been destroyed, cars have been destroyed, food, personal belongings. It is a very, very distressful time. But once again, can I thank the community out here. This is a very, very strong community. Everyone's been working together, looking after each other. Our community recovery here is doing a fantastic job, getting people into alternative housing if that's needed. We've got the insurance companies here, Lifeline. It's very, very distressing for people during this time as well. And around this area as well, about 1,000 people have been impacted. So that is a big impact, and of course those hailstones were really large that came through here. So once again, I thank everybody who's been involved in setting up the Community Recovery Centre, and to all the residents, we will continue to work with you to make sure you get through this, and alternative accommodation is being provided. So look, I might hand over. I think Cherise want to say a few words, the Mayor, Milton, we've got the Deputy Commissioner here as well, and then happy to take some questions. Cherise?
Hello, Cherise Mullen, member for Jordan.
Cherise Mullen, member for
I represent a number
Jordan.
of the suburbs that were directly impacted by Saturday's hailstorms. I want to particularly thank the Premier for coming out today. It's been wonderful to have her here and to meet with some of the affected residents. I also want to thank all of our emergency services staff and volunteers who've been out here since Saturday night, whether it's, QFES, the SES, or the Rural Fire Brigade. They've all been out here helping to secure homes and to do welfare checks. In particular, I do want to acknowledge the YMCA, who operate the community centre across the street. We were in touch on Sunday morning about setting up a little drop-in centre, and obviously that has now developed into a full community recovery hub, and it's been absolutely incredible to see the support that we've received, not only from government but also social services, from the insurance companies, as the Premier said, but also from local businesses who've been dropping in meals, dropping in goods and services for our community. As the Premier said, we are a strong community here. It is going to take some time to recover, but I'm very confident that we will get there. Thank you.
And well said there, Cherise, because as we know, Springfield Lake and Springfield, Brookfield, all those areas suffered that severe hailstorm, and a lot of damage that's been done there. And it's good to see that the Premier is out there on the grounds, having a look, and of course making sure that the insurance companies and everyone does the right thing, and that the all the repair works are done in a very, very timely manner. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the other news in brief, let's take a very quick look at some of the functions and events. And as we know, that tomorrow is GoPio Queensland's Diwali dinner, and to talk about that, we are now joined by Tanvi Goyal, who is the PRO for GoPio Queensland. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Australian Indian Radio, and once again, we're going to be talking about one of the functions that we're supporting, and we're going to talk about GoPio Queensland's Diwali dinner. With that, we'll welcome Tanvi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Umesh. Everyone, I'm so pleased to be here today. I'm the Public Relationship Officer for GoPio Queensland, and would like to invite you all for our amazing events coming next weekend. On 7th of November, we're going to have Diwali dinner. So I call it Diwali in style. So please come along. You can buy the tickets on Eventbrite. So it's a $40 per head plus little Eventbrite fees. And on the night, we are planning to make it really very, very exciting. So you can come along with your family, with even kids, we'll be having a lot of prizes as well. So best dress for the couple, for the kids, and individually as well. Ladies, don't forget to check out all your wardrobes. And on the day, we're planning a lot of games as well. So I'll be the game manager on the day. So don't worry, you can't do any cheating. But yes, we'll be doing Antakshari and so many other games. And also, we're going to have a guest singer on the night. So there'll be a lot of things to do, and basically a night full of fun. And the 3-course meal is included as well. So you don't have to worry basically going back home and cooking. So yes, guys, please come along and join us on the day. Amazing.
And it is wonderful that, there's so much entertainment that's going to be happening there on the night. It is so good. And as a public relations officer for the Gopia Queensland, I think you're doing an amazing job there as well. So, if people come in, what would be the best time for them to come in? How can they book the tickets?
Okay, so they can book on Eventbrite straight. Just fill your details, and it's a $40 per person plus the Eventbrite fees. And the time starts 5:30 p.m. So guys, don't be late. If you're getting late, that means you are missing out the fun. Just be there.
And during this festive time, normally we have a lot more people, and I think you have said that due to COVID restrictions, numbers are restrictions. So having that in mind, I'd say that people would need to book in early, otherwise they'll miss out.
Yeah, definitely. Just last few seats left, guys. So don't forget to even book today, and bring your friends as well. This is the best time for you to have a good catch up with your friends, and wear some nice dresses and take lots and lots of pictures. Believe me, when you send those pictures on Facebook and your friends see back home, they'll be so jealous of you, and you have to make them jealous. I always love it.
Yes, you have to, and it is wonderful. Normally, I know that you can accommodate more people, sometimes more than what you aim for, because people always want to book in the last minute. But because of COVID restrictions, they can't. So as you have said, that they need to book in right now for the remaining of the tickets that are there. And so what do I need to wear to get my best dressed prize?
So anything really exciting? I would say, ladies, wear some nice sari, have some nice jewelry. For boys, there are not much options, but Umeshji, you might wear maybe some kurta, not the suit. If you wear suit, I'm not going to give you price for sure. So yeah, anything. And for kids also, wear anything nice and colorful. Just be there, and don't forget, we have a lot of prizes, and you can be the lucky one.
And it's wonderful time because, restrictions are easing slowly, time to get about, and it is that festive season, joyous season, the victory of good over evil. So let's all get together and enjoy on the night. So, that venue once again is Indian Brothers Restaurant, 275 Ipswich Road in Annerley. We'd like to see you all there.
Thank you so much. And if you have any question, you can call Rakesh Sharma ji, the president, on 0411289202, or you can call me as well at Tanvi 04044033264. So don't worry, if you have any question, give us a call, or just go on Eventbrite and book it.
See you all there.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. So as the Tanvi has said, that function is on tomorrow night. The booking lines at the moment are still open. So if you haven't booked, you can jump on Eventbrite and book your tickets now, because the lines at this point in time are still open. So you don't want to miss out. Well, right now, moving on with the news. Of course, we have seen what's happening in America. So that is a nail-biting situation there. We don't know what's going to happen. But right now, of course, what's going to happen here as well, as we know that Miss Beryl Yilkin and Miss Palisade have been in a bit of a loggerhead. No one's returning no one's call. No one is answering their text. So New South Wales Premier says he's texted Anastasia Palisade to try and discuss reopening of the border, but she has not received any reply. Here's the report.
As part of the budget process. Good question. How does she react to anything? Good question. Can't comment on that. Yeah. I haven't heard what she said today, but can I make it very clear? On Sunday evening, I texted her to congratulate her on her election win and said I was keen to talk about borders. I did not hear from her until last night when she sent me a text about the state of origin, which I didn't know whether to be shocked or bemused, frankly, because I'm worried about jobs and I'm worried about people not seeing their families. And she just rubbed in the fact that Queensland won the game. That's fine.
Hey, but Queensland did win that game, so, it's the state of origin. So, of course, even at that level, we have this rivalry. Well, we'll keep the spirit alive. Number 2, Sydney Mardi Gras will move to Sydney Cricket Ground for 2021. And of course, we know it's always being on the big thing in the streets. Let's take a look at that report.
I want to stress that as an organisation, we feel it is so important to keep the Mardi Gras parade on our calendar. The parade was the last and will be the first internationally significant art and culture event to take place since the beginning of COVID-19. And this will help provide some much needed stimulus to the New South Wales economy, particularly for our arts and culture sector. I want to stress that Oxford Street is the spiritual home of Mardi Gras. That will never change. And we will return soon back to Oxford Street as soon as we are able.
And that is quite understandable that under the current circumstances, moving on to the SCG, it's probably a good move. And as it's mentioned there, that, it is very important, and it is important that Mardi Gras be kept on the calendar. Well, right now, going to New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern says, we'll work in with whoever is elected president of US. So it's not the president, but it's US that really counts, according to her. And that's the way it should be. I mean, it doesn't matter who is there, but it's also what US is to the world.
Obviously, as votes are still being counted, I think the whole world waits for the final outcome in the United States. But of course, we continue to have faith in those institutions, as I'm sure they do. My job in this role as Prime Minister is to work with whomever another country decides should be their leader, in the same way that New Zealand expects every other country to work with whomever they elect as Prime Minister. For any democracy, what's really important is that their citizens support it, believe in it, that their political parties support it and believe in it. But this is another country's democracy, and now it's time for us to let it run its course and see what the final outcome is.
And quite rightfully said that let it run its course and see what the final outcome is, and whoever may be the leader, and that she will work in with that person. And I mean, of course, that goes for all the other countries as well, because many times people are fighting over these things, but when you look at overall any organization for that matter, people when they deal with the organization, of course, who is heading it does matter. It would be very naive of us to say that now it doesn't matter who is at the helm. That really does matter at all. But on overall, when you're looking at the countries like US is US, so the trade relations and so much else that relies on the US relations with the whole world. Well, right now it's time for a commercial break, and we'll go and look at because this is Diwali, and of course during Diwali, one of our sponsors, Woolworths, the fresh food people, have put out a great pack, and the pack Diwali preparations are now made easier with more convenient, and it is been special for the South Asian products available in selected Woolworths stores across the country. Diwali occupies an unparalleled space in the hearts of people, and on this auspicious occasion, Woolworths has embraced the importance of the role that food plays during Diwali by offering tailored products for the South Asian community, available in over 200 stores nationally and also online. What is available at the stores, and what could be some gift ideas, and how could you wrap it or how could you package it before you deliver, as Diwali is coming upon us very quickly. To talk about that, let's welcome to the studio the Chantex Multimedia's Marketing Manager, Dr. Charita Deshpande.
Namaste everyone. Welcome to this exciting updates from Brisbane Indian Times and Australian Indian Radio. We are really excited to our upcoming Diwali edition, which is due to be published on 14th of November 2020 on the actual Diwali day. So here we are presenting a gift idea from Woolworths. So Woolworths has presented us with a gift box as a token of love and appreciation. So thank you Woolworths for this. So we would like to present this as a gift idea which you can use for your friends and families this Diwali. So let's see what's in the box. So first we have a card which says wishing you a very happy Diwali from Woolworths. And then our festival day starts with a cup of tea. So we have Red Label tea powder, which is very popular. And then we have savory foods like Haldiram's Chatpata Dal, and then Haldiram's Gujia Sev, which are like savory and very popular brands as well. And then we have another Bhujia packet here which says Ancient Grain Twist. We also have some sweet things like premium cookies, and then this comes in the sweet one. We also have Bicano premium Jeera cookies. And then we have the very popular Good Day biscuits as well in this packet. And no festival is complete, especially the Diwali, without the besan laddu. So we have Bicano besan laddus as well. What an amazing pack it is. And then we have little hearts, which is very popular back in India among the children as well. And then we have all-in-one Haldiram packet as well. So we also have samosas, we have khatta meetha packet, and then we have few decoration items which you can use during the puja or to decorate your house during Diwali. And no festival is complete without firecrackers. So we have some sparkles as well, and then children will really enjoy using these sparkles. So this is a gift idea by Woolworths, and then you can use it, you can gift it to your family and friends this Diwali. So we'll be coming up again with many more updates. Till then, stay safe and stay tuned on this segment. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Charita, for that update there. And as we know, that Woolworths General Manager for Grocery and Food, Ian Sira, said, "We understand Diwali is an important time for family gathering, celebration and feasting. Our teams have been working hard to expand our South Asian range product to ensure customers have all the ingredients and products that they need to celebrate. For Diwali, we have the right variety of local and international products offering great value to help our customers during their busy preparation leading up to the Diwali festivities." So that's amazing package that's been put together with Woolworths, the fresh food people. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now, moving on, let's go and take a look at some of the other news that's happening locally before we go into some of the events and the other segment. Well, right now, after the recovery that's been happening, what is our economy going to look like? Are we confident? And that, if of course we've had the interest rate cuts to a record low level, what are the banks saying? What would our recovery look like? Let's take a look at that report.
NAB is the last of the big four banks to report its full-year result. COVID and financial scandals crimped after-tax profit by 47% to $2.6 billion. The final dividend was cut by over 60%. The bank has put more cash aside to brace for financial shocks, but it's optimistic about the recovery. I spoke with Chief Executive Ross McEwan. Ross McEwan, welcome to The Business.
Nice to be with you.
You've posted a big drop in profit, but it wasn't unexpected.
There were a number of things that impacted us along with other banks, COVID being the major one, and the measures we've had to take to step in to help customers, the impact it's had on our revenues as a bank, but also slowing growth and very low interest rates hurts banks as well.
You mentioned interest rates, and of course, like the other big banks, you're passing on the RBA's cut, but only to fixed home loan customers and business customers. Why not variable home loan customers?
What you've seen from banks is the net interest margin, which is the difference between what we borrow to what we lend at, has actually come off. So the pressure is on banks on their net interest margin and therefore their earnings. and we felt the best way to pass on to customers was through the fixed rate, but also for business customers. About 70 to 80% of our business customers are connected to an index, and don't worry about what it's called the BBSW for customers, but it's an index. That index itself over the last 12 months has dropped by 90 basis points. And for our customers, that's saved them something like $700 million in interest payments. So there are other factors other than just the Reserve Bank rate that impact what a customer pays.
Does that mean you're shoring up your margins by keeping those variable rates higher?
Well, variable rates at this stage are high, but our lowest variable rate at the moment is 2.69%, which connects into some of the variable rates as well. So, variable rates have come down over the last 18 months, as have fixed rates. But what we're seeing now is a desire for customers to get much more certainty on their payments and going to fixed rates, and that's why we've adjusted fixed rates this time around. And our 4-year fixed rate at 1.98, I think is the lowest rate this bank has ever had in its history. So you're seeing...
As Ross Greenwood there said, that it is the lowest interest rate in the history, and it is. For people out there, this might be a good time to get in and lock the loans in, but always look at your own circumstances and get your advices in place before you do that, because what we present here is just the so. Well, right now, let's look at one of our sponsors, GlobeNet Realty.
GlobeNet Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Washa Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.
GlobeNet Realty, of course, and as we saw the report that they present on every Wednesday. Well, right now, the big news is about Crown Casino in Sydney. The big resort that is supposed to be opening very soon might be put on hold for a while, because after those explosive investigations, someone has found out that Crown Casino might not be able to hold its license. Here's that story.
Looming over Sydney's skyline is Crown's shining jewel, its new casino on the harbour for high roller gamblers. But its future is under a dark cloud. For months, a New South Wales inquiry headed by Commissioner Patricia Bergen has heard explosive evidence against the company. And now Counsel Assisting has made a stunning final submission that Crown is unfit to hold the lucrative casino licence.
We submit that the evidence presented to this inquiry demonstrates that the licensee is not a suitable person to continue to give effect to the licence, and that Crown Resorts is not a suitable person to be a close associate of the licensee.
The argument by Counsel Assisting follows months of damning evidence, including that the company failed to stop money laundering at its Melbourne and Perth casinos and went into business with junket operators with links to Asian organised crime.
You've seen footage, including the blue bag footage, which shows hundreds of thousands of dollars of cash being handed over in exchange for chips.
The inquiry also heard that Crown put its employees at risk in China, where 19 staff were arrested in 2016.
We submit that the evidence in relation to the China arrests demonstrates serious and systemic failures.
Much of the blame at the inquiry was put at the feet of Crown's major shareholder, James Packer.
A lot of the things that I've seen or heard in this inquiry have been a total shock to me.
Council assisting argued Packer should be banned from being closely involved with Crown's new Sydney casino after evidence emerged about the billionaire's influence over the company and his behaviour, including that he threatened a Melbourne businessman over email in 2015.
You accept that your conduct in these emails was disgraceful, don't you?
Yes.
So you were a director of Crown Resorts at the time you engaged.
So, that's that big damning report. Wow. Such a big investment, such a large icon that's been built. And right now to lose the license because of those kind of conduct, what a big blow to the company. Well, I mean, these things happen and they should not happen. And we'll again keep an eye on the situation and see what really happens there. Now, if you're thinking of flying like me, why are flights still so expensive, when the demands are there? And so what is driving that price? Let's take a very quick look at that report before we go into events.
The first plane load of passengers from Hobart arrived in Canberra early this afternoon.
Come to see my partner, who I haven't seen since the end of February.
Charlie's 6 months old and she hasn't met any relatives yet, so this is the first time.
Canberra Airport was forced to close on Saturdays earlier this year as flight numbers dwindled, but things are slowly improving.
A third of what we would normally see, and some of those are new routes that we haven't had travelling previously. So although the capacity has increased, our traditional capacity is still quite low, so we really are looking at probably about 100 flights a week.
Demand for flights is increasing, but supply is still limited, so those who want to travel will find they're paying a premium. To boost consumer confidence, airlines are offering flexible ticket options, but that also increases the cost.
We could worry about pricing as much as possible, but I think people have sort of realised that it doesn't really matter how much it costs. They're just so desperate to see friends and family that they are prepared to pay the much higher price. And of course, whilst they're prepared to do that, the industry will continue to charge that.
That was certainly the vibe among these travellers.
I've been so patient waiting, for borders to open up, and it's just worth it.
It's really high. Yeah, but I thought it's time to come.
Until borders fully reopen and the market is competitive again, expect to pay a high price for air travel.
So, the prices are not going to be coming down anytime soon. The flights might become more frequent as the border restrictions ease as well. Well, right now, as we know, we're coming up to Diwali, and tomorrow is Gopio Queensland's Diwali dinner, and of course after that is the big Diwali dinner for FICQ. And to talk about that, we'd like to welcome into the studio Syamda. Syamde, namaskar.
Namaskar. With great pleasure and delight, the Federation of Indian Communities brings to you Diwali 2020. It's a festival of lights, festival of peace, happiness and joy. Diwali symbolizes a victory of good over bad. Due to COVID, we are live streaming the entire program. Come and join us virtually and celebrate the festival and bring brightness in everyone's life. Have a wonderful Diwali. May the coming year be full of happiness, prosperity and peace for everyone.
Thank you very much. So that's an update there from FICQ. Well, right now it's time to look at all the other functions and events that are taking place. And as has been mentioned before, that many of these functions and events would be happening virtually. So they were up to date on Australian Indian Radio and Brisbane Indian Times live streaming right here from Brisbane, this sunny city of Australia. And of course, when we have looked at all these functions and events that are taking place, don't forget that tonight is Lord Mayor's Multicultural Awards Night and the dinner function happening at the City Hall, a very prestigious event. Tomorrow is GoPio Queensland's annual Diwali dinner, and of course we have got the FICK Diwali coming up, and of course Queensland Multicultural Council and its annual dinner, which is also happening on the 20th. The 20th is also the White Ribbon Day, and White Ribbon Day, there's so many different functions that have been planned, and we will talk about White Ribbon and the revival of White Ribbon. Many people are asking us questions about that, you know, what happened to White Ribbon before and why is it again there, and so all those questions we will answer. But tomorrow, joining me on this panel would be Rita Anwari, and as we know of the things that are happening at the moment in Kabul and many things that are happening worldwide as well, for all the things that she has done out there within the community, I thought it was very wonderful and opportunity, the right time to have Rita with us discussing all those very, very important topics right here from these studios. But that is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Well, until tomorrow, please have a wonderful day. Remain safe. We'll see you then. It's always good to see you. Wonderful to have your company.